What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Want to give a big ups to one of my dearest friends, Mr. 𝐜𝐚'𝐬. I definitely appreciate him for inviting me onto his panel last night. When I said I enjoyed it, I was able to cut up, let my hair down, be myself. You know, it's very rarely you can go into a male space and really enjoy being in the presence of men on the panel, and they not acting like attack dogs, they're not acting like thirsty pit bulls, you know, giving certain women passes. You know, you can just go in a space and just talk about topics that affect the everyday black community, and we had a really good time. So I enjoyed it. So big ups to 𝐜𝐚'𝐬 and his panel, to Amanda and the other Ray J, and it was somebody else that was on there. Shit, I can't remember. But anyway, big ups to everybody that was in the panel. Oh, Underrated Darkness. Big ups to everybody that was on 𝐜𝐚'𝐬's panel last night. If y'all didn't check it out, please check it out. We really kicked some real knowledge. We dropped some jewels. You know, a lot of small content creators, we don't get a lot of acknowledgement, we don't get a lot of respect, but I'm telling you, we really enjoyed that content. It's been a long time since I did a panel, but nevertheless, I'll leave the link below so y'all can look at it whenever y'all get a chance. So anyway, it was all well and dandy. So moving further along, I want to talk about these YouTube dating coaches that are getting exposed, and people are acting like they are so surprised, like they are just so shocked at these content creators, these dating coaches that seem to be such an advocate for black women, or such an advocate for black men, or such an advocate for swirling, such an advocate, you know, for attacking the black culture. You know, we have all these YouTube advocates that are only promoting content that they claim, you know, they value. They want to speak on topics and content that they feel, you know what I'm saying, is how they perceive black men or black women, as far as what they perceive black men and black women to be. So basically, everybody's been doing videos about your boy Derek Jackson. Ever since this side chick, this appetizer, came out and exposed him, that he's been flying her out to the cities, and you know how they were intimate, you know, with all this and that. You know, a lot of the brothers are having a field day. They are popping bottles. They are throwing a party. You know, also basically black men who have never cared for black men who empower black women. And because Derek Jackson was one of the few that was an advocate, supposedly, for black women, uplifting black women, empowering black women, so when he got exposed cheating on his black wife, the brothers are having a field day, because now it proves their point, especially to the black men who are anti-black women, that see black women, nobody really values y'all. We've been saying y'all are not valuable. We've been saying that you know, y'all are not worth anything, and here it is. Now we have leverage. Now we got somebody who we can use as an example to prove that black women not worthy. And here it is, y'all been supporting this black man, thinking he's really all for y'all, and all this time him acting like he's for black women, he's having an affair on his black wife. You know what I'm saying? So now the little bit of hope black women did have, all of that pretty much got pulled. They got a rug pulled from up under their foot now, because like I said, these anti-black women, black men now can say that, see, aha, that's what y'all get, thinking that Derek Jackson got love for black women. Y'all been buying his books. Y'all been buying his coffee mugs. Y'all been buying his into his lies and into his game. So it's looking like black women, once again, we have a nail. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm one of those, because again, I've never been a supporter of Derek Jackson. I'm going to go more into that anyway as I do this content. So anywho, when he got exposed, this gave the black women, black men, it gave them leverage to use it to advantage. Now, not only that, You have these black female content creators that are anti-black men, that are always preaching on the fact that black men aren't who they pretend to be, that black men are always living double lives, black men are undercover dogs. This gave them a one-up. Derek Jackson's exposure gave the anti black men, black women, a one up. See, this is my point in case. Y'all around here worshiping these black men. Y'all up here defending these black men. And look what they do. They sit up here and make y'all think they got a love for y'all, that they down for y'all, but they even cheat on their own black wives. And this is the reason why black women should not be married to black men, because look how black men disrespect and all this and that. So basically, Derek Jackson's exposure has people really eating up black men and black women. And what I've come to realize is, in this YouTube streets, it really still boils down to gender wars. Black men cannot stand black women, and black women cannot stand black men. So when you get a black man or a black woman that has a lot of influence in the black YouTube sector, and they've always sided with a certain side, they always supported one gender more than the other, what tends to happen is, when they get exposed, now the team that they were not advocating for can use it against them. For instance, if I'm up here always talking about how black men ain't shit and black men are deadbeats and black men are no good, that is the narrative I've always preached. I have gained a large audience, a fan base, based on the fact that I hate black men. And I have black women who share my same level of bitterness, who have supported me, who rock with me, who have been buying my t-shirts, buying my coffee mugs, who have been super chatting based on the foundation that I built my platform off of. Then they turn around and see that I'm marrying a black man. They will totally be disappointed in me. And that's why, as a content creator, you have to be careful the foundation that you build your channel upon. Because if you go outside of the platform of the foundation that you built and you do the opposite, or you get caught in a scandal that goes against everything that you've been preaching on your content, then what tends to happen is, now people are looking at you with the side eye. You know, now people are looking at you as a fraud, as a fake, as a phony. So now you can't recover from that. With my opinion with Derek Jackson, before I go further into this, first of all, I will say I've never been a fan of Derek Jackson. Okay. The reason why I, along with a few other sisters, because I'm not the only one, other sisters such as myself who have not been diehard fans of Derek Jackson, is because, for one, the majority of black male content creators on YouTube cannot stand black women. This we know. So the fact that he was the only one in a few caping and trying to give black women all of this upliftment and encouragement, I just felt like that alone was a sign of a hidden agenda. That already, that turned me off from the jump. The fact that he was a black male content creator who wanted to empower and uplift women. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have some brothers out there who really have the best interest for black women. But the fact that he was constantly justifying our actions. Like, you know, it don't matter if you got 5, 6 kids from 5, 6 different men. If a man is a real man, he's going to be there for you and your children. He's going to help you take care of your children. He's going to help you support your children. And I'm like, in what world does a black man think like that? I said, I know good damn and well you don't think like that. And this was before I even saw his wife, which he never really acknowledged, which he never really displayed. But my thing is, I know good damn well you being a black male, you don't feel that way. I doubt very seriously you'll pick up Patricia from the projects. Knowing she got 5, 6 kids and you'll wife her and you'll marry her. I doubt that. So why are you lying and sit up here telling these black women that they are queens when they have made peasants' decisions? It is just the way he was finessing that it was okay for a black woman to be a failure. And that if a black man really loves a black woman, he will accept her failures. I just wasn't buying into it. Being a subscriber, you have to not become a minion. Meaning, you are so obsessed with the content creator that you can't see past the bullshit they're promoting. And what's going on in the black YouTube sectors is subscribers are becoming minions. They are becoming minions to the point that they are becoming blinded by the BS. You know, you have to be able to read in between the lines. You can't be so down hard that you support a certain dating coach because you super chat, because you're a member. You act like you're a doggone church member, like your pastor can do no wrong, because your pastor is always speaking a good word, because your YouTube pastor, that's what I'm going to start calling these dating coaches, YouTube pastors. That's my new word, y'all. If y'all going to use my words, y'all better give me some credit now. We're going to talk about these YouTube pastors, because that's what the hell they are. Just like you got to go to church and pay tithes, they always pushing for you to pay tithes, pay that 10% in order for you to hear the good word from the Lord when it's free to read the Bible. And like I said, it's not wrong supporting churches. I pay tithes and stuff like that, but not as often as I should. But I know in the back of my mind, I don't care how much a pastor speaks a good word, that does not mean he's doing everything right or he's living right the way he pretends that he does. Now, again, I've never been a fan of him because he capes too hard. And the problem is with the black community, we are the most vulnerable race. And I would say black men and black women, we are the most vulnerable race. People, like I was saying on the panel the other night, people have always been able to profit off of the pain of black people. People have always made money off of our pain. People have always made money off of our delusions, off of our illusions, off of our denials. People have always been able to profit off of the weaknesses of the black community. Why do you think there's a liquor store on every corner in the black community? You know why? Because it's so many black people within the black community that have an addiction to alcohol. The majority of us drink alcohol because we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we have an addiction, and guess who's making the money off of it? The Indians who own the package stores, the Korean or Arabs who own these liquor stores. Who do you see every Friday up in there packing up the liquor stores as soon as they get their paycheck? It's us as black people. We like to drink. We like to smoke. That is our way of escaping reality. That is our way of getting through our pain. These foreigners know that and they make a profit off of it. No different than why is there a hair store in the hood on every corner? I tell you why. Because black women, we the ones buying into all of these things that help us to feel better with our physical attributes. A lot of us got low self-esteem. So we feel like the only way we can feel worthy, we got to always have our hair done. We got to always buy hair. We have to always get our hair done. We got to buy makeup. We have to constantly invest half our check into these hair supply stores so we can feel good about ourselves, because there's a lot of emptiness. There's a lot of bitterness. And for us to conceal that, we have to look good and pretend that we are happy with ourselves when we're really not. You have to spend $200-300 on some hair. And this ain't no once in a while. Y'all, I know black women who buy hair bundles for $300-400 every 2-3 months, and I'm like, God dog. I mean, I get it. You know, you want to buy your little hair, you buy your little enhancements. The truth is, all women have some type of enhancement. I don't care if they're black, white, Puerto Rican. If it's not hair enhancement, they got ass enhancements. They got breast enhancements. They got lip enhancements. Truth is, you got some black women who want to be white and some white women who want to be black. You got some black women who want to wear blonde hair knowing it doesn't look good with their complexion. It does not match with their complexion, but because they got a color complex about themselves, they'll try to become as white as they can get with the blonde hair and the green eyes. Then you have these white women who want to be black women. Oh yes, it ain't just sisters buying weave anymore. You got a lot of Puerto Rican, white, Caucasian women, whatever. A lot of them have been buying hair pieces for years. But now, they're not happy with their small, thin lips. They want their lips just as thick as ours. Because black women, we naturally got thick lips. Who's out here getting these lip injections? These baboon ass-looking lips. They want thick lips. They don't like their thin lips. Not only that, some of these white queens are getting tans on the regular. They don't like their pale skin. They don't like their white skin. I know several white females who get tans on a daily basis to darken their complexion. They're not happy about themselves either, no more than black women are. It's just that it's easier to keep pushing the narrative that black women aren't happy with themselves, because again, it's all about making your narratives more valid than others. I said everybody has self-esteem issues. Let's not get it twisted. Okay? All right? No more than you got some of these brothers out here who feel like they got to brag about what designer labels they wear and how many women they get. If you really happy about yourself as a black man, you don't have to keep going around here exploiting how much money you make, exploiting what designer labels you have. You putting down black men who you feel like you make more money than, or you put down black women who you couldn't pull back in the day. Now that you making a little something and you well dressed and you look better than how you used to look back in middle school or high school, now you feel like you got the advantage to talk trash to black women day in and day out now, because now you have confidence. But you didn't always have that when you was in middle school and high school. Black women wasn't interested in you. Black women looked at you as a square dude. But guess what? Well, now because we're dating coaches, we're not going to talk about how back in the day we felt rejected by black women. Now, because we have success, we could talk about how black women ain't shit. But at one point in time, you wanted to be loved by one. You wanted to be accepted by a black woman. But how quick we forget, this is what happens with success. When we climb the ladder and we get to a certain space, now we feel like we have the room. We feel like we have the privilege to talk shit about other people and down other people. Not knowing that you could be knocked down off your high horse at any given moment. And Derek Jackson is a prime example of that. That's why I don't worship none of these YouTube pastors who want to speak and preach and ridicule and tell people what kind of black man they should get, what kind of black woman they should get. A lot of these YouTube pastors are not living what they are preaching. And the reason why a lot of y'all shocked, and he hasn't been the only one. I heard about this Donovan Sharp. I don't know nothing about him. I don't watch his stuff. I heard about the pink pill chick. I heard she got exposed. I don't know nothing about her. Honestly, I don't watch any dating coaches. I've unsubscribed from a lot of them because sometimes as a content creator, when you listen to other content creators, you tend to adopt some of their material. You know what I mean? You will catch yourself stealing or mimicking a lot of their viewpoints. So a lot of them I had to unsubscribe from as a content creator. You don't mean to do it, you will do it. You know, you find yourself regurgitating a lot of the points that you have heard from other people. And that is what's going on in the black YouTube sector. A lot of these black male content creators and black female content creators and these avatar content creators, they are just regurgitating points that they have already learned from other content creators that was way more successful back in the day. And what they're doing is they're remixing on it. They're finessing it and owning it like they were the only ones who brought up all of these topics about black men and black women. This stuff is just history repeating itself. It's no different than new school artists that's sampling some beats from artists from the 70s or the 80s. They're just reusing that beat. They're adding their own synthesizers to it. They're adding their own sauce to it. And then they're owning it like they was the only ones who had that all along, and they did not. They got it from somewhere. And make no mistake about it. I don't care what people say. People want to keep pushing originality on YouTube. There is no originality. Everybody has got something from somebody. Everybody has. Even if you said one tagline that person said. Like I remember I used the tagline from Tommy Sotomayor years back. I try not to use a lot of people's stuff. Or if I do use it, I'll give them homage. I'll give them credit. I used to say black women want DNA. Digging attention. I got it from Tommy because I used to watch his stuff all the time. You know, I became a content creator watching a lot of these males be successful and do great at being content creators. And I've mentioned that. I've never been one of them sisters like, you know, I was always a content creator. I ain't learned nothing from nobody. We all learn something from somebody. But what happens is when we hit a certain ladder, we don't think we have to pay homage. We don't think we have to acknowledge because now you've been able to fool people and gain an audience based on the fact that you've been able to make them believe that you were the one who had this knowledge all along. And this is another thing. A lot of people are getting upset with these YouTube pastors that are not acknowledging where they started their brand from. A lot of these YouTube pastors get big, become successful, and they forget who paved the way for them. They forget. They started off with, basically, these YouTube pastors, once upon a time, they were unknown. Okay? They were unknown. Nobody knew who the hell they was. And the reason how most of them became known is by hanging around the known, being on panels with the known, doing live streams with the known. A lot of these unknowns became known by fraternizing with the known. And once they got bigger, then the ones that put them on, now they don't feel like they have to pay homage. At the same token, though, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Keep in mind that just because you put somebody on and you brought them from the bottom and you took them from the bottom and brought them to the top, keep in mind that when they hit that ladder, that does not mean they're going to give you any acknowledgement. You got to be prepared for that. That's the chance you take sometimes when you bring people in your circle. They come in your circle, learn, be around you, learn to see what you do. And while you're thinking they're there to help support your panel, they're there to support your movement, they're there to be a part of the team, the whole time they are observing, watching, and studying how you are building your platform, and in their mind, they already got an expiration date set for when they plan on leaving you. They are there to feed and eat off of your plate. Once they done got full of eating off your plate, they're going to throw that plate away and get them a new plate somewhere else. So you have a lot of YouTube pastors, they are angry at the fact that the people who they gave a mark on their platforms and panels have left them and become great and successful, and they won't pay homage to them. They won't say, big ups to so-and-so, big ups to Poetic Kales, big ups to Classic Ruby, big ups to You know, Kevin Kelly, big ups to Reg the bad guy. Big ups to Wake the Hell Up. They ain't gonna acknowledge a damn thing. Why should they? And truth be told, nobody owes you any homage. And I'm seeing grown men around here crying and whining because certain people are not giving them homage now that they have hit a mark. They have climbed that ladder of success. That is the chance you take sometimes. Like I said on one of the panels, on the panel last night, I had a girlfriend of mine who, once we were in the same department together, she taught me the ropes. She taught me how to do a lot of stuff. She gave me a lot of knowledge. She gave me a lot of skills. I learned a lot from her when we were both working for the same company. But what ended up happening was my performance started outshining hers. People liked me more, not because I was better than her, but I had a better attitude. Sometimes it's your attitude that gets you that gratitude. Some of these male content creators, y'all are nasty. Y'all don't care. Y'all disrespectful to your female audience. Now, you got some men that are disrespectful, but they know how to finesse it. They know how to be smooth with it. And the reason why a lot of these sisters are allowing these new dating coaches to get away with dissing them and disrespecting them, because a lot of these YouTube pastors learn how to finesse it. And because you have some black women that are used to being screamed at, yelled at, told you a bitch, told you a black hair-hatted hooligan. That's why you have had black female subscribers walk away from these type of dating coaches, and they're going to dating coaches that can insult you and degrade you, but they do it in a less demeaning manner. They know how to finesse it. Instead of you a hair-hatted black bitch, you're just not a high quality female, you know. Black women have taken disrespect for years. They just accepting it now from a more soft-spoken individual. So I'm not surprised that black women are supporting black men who really don't give a shit about them. They just know they can profit off of constantly doing content that badgers them and belittles them. But what it is, black women, we have always accepted disrespect, not just because it's coming from black men, but because the truth is a lot of us don't respect ourselves. So we don't have a problem calling in to shows and getting in the presence of these black men and putting ourselves in a position where we can be ridiculed and where we can be put down and belittled, because the truth is a lot of us are used to it. Our baby daddies have been doing it. Our own black fathers have been doing it. Hell, some of us as black women, our own black mothers have been putting us down and disrespecting us. So black women they normalize disrespect. That's why they can go in these spaces or go in these places and these guys could insult them, whether they're yelling or screaming at them or whether they finessing it and doing it smoothly. Disrespect is disrespect. It don't matter in what tone or what style you use, but you have to be a black woman with confidence and dignity to know when you're being ridiculed and disrespected. And if you don't mind being disrespected, you'll go into spaces where you will be disrespected. While you're thinking you're going to get attention, and while you're thinking you're going to be one of the black women that's going to get the Nobel Peace Prize and say, see, you are a 10. You are the epitome of the high value black woman. You represent that. None of us are ever going to get that Nobel Peace Prize. So I don't know why sisters are wasting their time calling or whatever. You're not going to get that Nobel Peace Prize. But anyway, nevertheless, people are so shocked at these YouTube dating coaches, these YouTube pastors. They can't understand how you preach this, but this comes out. And the fact that Derek Jackson tried to justify it, he made it look worse. Because let me tell you something. I know some YouTubers who've been exposing all kind of bullshit. They will never address it. They will go on and do their content. They're not going to. I know several YouTubers right now who have been exposed that they've been married a certain amount of times, that they got kids they don't acknowledge. They ain't never going to address it because they know as long as they don't touch it, people are going to forget about it. Derek Jackson was dumb on that. He should have not even addressed it. Think about it. You know how many YouTubers been exposed and been caught and they still go on doing their content and they minions still support them? They minions still act like they didn't hear nothing about it? He wouldn't have said anything. He still will have his black female supporters. And probably before it's all over with, I really don't think he's going to lose his fan base behind it. I think if anything is going to grow and expand. Sometimes exposure does damage control. It does the opposite of what we think it's going to do. While a lot of these black men are throwing confetti and having a Tupperware party. I mean, they're popping bottles, having a party, and these anti-hate black men, black women are throwing a Tupperware party. It's not going to hurt his brand. I doubt it, because people support the fake. Nobody supports what's genuine and authentic anymore. Being genuine and authentic is not getting you any views. I'm going to tell you that now. So for people thinking this man going to lose, he's not going to lose anything. I guarantee you. I've seen so many YouTubers get exposed for lies. And they still got people rocking just as hard for them as ever. So Derek Jackson is good. He's still going to sell his books. His wife's still going to be there. People trying to take him down, but it's not going to work. Should he? Yeah, I think he should. I think he should be broken down a peg or two. But guess what? It's not going to happen. So as far as Derek Jackson, he's good. He shouldn't even have to explain himself. He's not going to lose his supporters. I saw people were still chatting to him. I mean, super chatting him as he was trying to explain why he cheated on his wife. They were still sending the man money. That'll let you know right there. He good. He ain't got nothing to worry about. Well, if he got any sense, the one person he does owe more than anything is his wife. He better go to marriage counselor. He better do whatever he can to reconcile his marriage. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Everybody act like Derek Jackson is the only black man who's been caught cheating on his wife. Everybody is ripping and running with this shit like this never goddamn happens. And the truth be told, nobody's not tripping off of Derek Jackson because he's cheating. Because he got caught cheating. Men cheat every goddamn day. I don't like it, but that's the reality that a lot of women got to face. Men cheat damn every day. The problem is when you're up here preaching to black women how they should feel confident and good about themselves, but you are up here cheating on your black queen. That is what's making everybody look at Derek Jackson with the side eye. Had he been, just an athlete or somebody, who or a rapper, okay, here goes another rapper got caught with a groupie, another athlete got caught with a groupie. But when you up here die hard advocating for something, and you get caught going against what you advocate all the time, that's where you make yourself look bad, where you make yourself look like a phony. That's where Derek Jackson went wrong. Cheating, that's one bad aspect of the situation, but the biggest aspect is he is the one who's always capable for black women. That black men need to respect black women, and here it is, you're not even respecting your black wife. Because men that are successful, there's more temptation for them. There's so many options. They become a target. And what was making a lot of women attracted to Derek Jackson, for one, he's not an ugly looking guy. He's nicely built. He has nice teeth. He keeps his hair cut. He has his little GQ. He has his little swag. I'll give him that. But the main reason a lot of women was attracted to him because he is this nice looking dating guru that actually supposedly, because we can't say that now, had love for black women. So all of that got him pushed to the forefront because it's so many black women, so many of us are used to being disrespected. So many of us are used to being ridiculed that when they finally get one nice looking black man who has something nice to say, it's like black women melt like M&Ms. in the palm of these dudes' hands. And these guys, they know it. Now, if he would have never gotten caught in the scandal, like I said, it's still not going to hurt his brand. He would have kept lonely, low self-esteem. Black women would have kept supporting them. Black women don't really have too many advocates. You got a few black women out there who ride hard for black women, who try to uplift them and empower them. You got one or two brothers, not many, that go hard for black women, try to uplift them and encourage them. But we don't have many advocates pushing for us. So when we get one, we will accept that even if it's not authentic, because it's like, I just need someone somewhere that's going to have my back, that's going to give me some type of confidence. I mean, black men have a lot of brothers advocating for them, telling them, you are a high value man. You don't deserve to be with a hair hat, a hooligan black woman. Stop dealing with black women who got children. Stop dealing with black women who on their 34th marriage. You have a lot of black men that are constantly having other black men advocate for them. You know, everybody wants to be loved. No matter how big you are, how successful you are. The problem with the black community, all of us are looking for love and acceptance somewhere. This is why we put so much hope and trust into these YouTube pastors. If you are a black man and you've never been loved by a black woman the right way, what better way to get love and acceptance to go become a part of another black man's platform who hates black women, who also has never been loved by black men, black women like you haven't. So y'all all can come together, bash black women, drag black women, because really the truth is your YouTube pastor as well as y'all cannot stand black women, or you have so much hate for black women because at one point in time you loved a black woman. You can't hate something you ain't never loved. You can't hate something you ain't never wanted. Like T.D. Jakes would say, if you didn't care about it, you wouldn't be angry. Why would you be angry about something you don't care about? You have a lot of black men, they are angry about black women because the truth is they still want one. They love one. They love them. Just that they got the wrong black woman who used them, who manipulated them, or the right black woman who rejected them, who did not find them attractive, who did not give them that opportunity. So now they're using their platform as leverage, saying all black bitches ain't shit and this and that, when really the black woman they wanted didn't want them. Same thing with these sisters here. You can't hate a black man so much if you didn't love one at one point in time. Either one disappointed you, he wasn't a good father to your child, something happened somewhere that gave you the stigma to hate black men. And for you to go in and day in and day out, constantly pushing that narrative that black men ain't shit. So at some point, you was crazy about you was crazy about the same black man you calling ain't shit. The black community is basically a broken community. A lot of us are broken, and a lot of us resent one another because we have disappointed each other. You have the black women who have disappointed and disrespected black men. You have black men who have disappointed and disrespected black women. It's a full circle all the way around, and nobody won't take accountability for it. Nobody won't own it. You have people that's saying it's okay for me to disrespect you because I don't like you. I don't feel like I got to respect you because I don't like you. When the whole bottom line is respect is respect. You give respect to where it's due. You don't go around spitting all your toxic venom out on everybody because you didn't get the love from the black man or the black woman you wanted. Or you didn't get the acceptance from the black man or the black woman that you wanted. So the question is, these YouTube pastors and dating coaches keep getting exposed. Y'all acting like y'all surprised. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all do not need to be worshiping any of these dating coaches. I don't care how hard they advocate for you. I don't care if you love hearing them talk about hating black women because you hate black women. I don't care if you love hearing them talking about they hate black men because you hate black men. Behind closed doors, a lot of them are living double lives. They will sit up here and preach to stay away from black women, but behind closed doors, they're dating them. Behind closed doors, they're having sex with them. Behind closed doors, they creeping with them. But they will get on these platforms and these live streams and will sit up there and try to discourage other black men from being interested in black women when they still dealing with them. And you have these sisters that are the same way. They are pushing this narrative that black men are damaged goods, but they're having babies from them. They are low-key dealing with them. And my thing is, I don't care what you do in your personal life, but at the same token, don't come up here trying to poison a whole black community to live by principles and merits that you're not living. And that's where Derek Jackson messed up. It wasn't that he was cheating. It was that he's up here promoting a narrative that he doesn't even believe himself. It's no different than you being a member of a congregation. And you have your pastor up here telling you, thou shalt not cheat on a wife, honor thy vows, take care of your family, the Lord will bless you if you take care of your family and this and that. You know what I'm saying? And behind closed doors, your pastor gets exposed. He gets caught in a scandal. He's messing with some of the women in his congregation. Or he got some floozy outside of the church knocked up. But he's up here preaching to y'all how to respect your marriage, how to live the word of God. And this man I got caught in a scandal. And y'all have been tied into the congregation. Y'all have been supporting the congregation. And he gets on the pulpit and tells you, oh, well, I'm sorry. I know, I've been preaching for y'all to live right, but I'm still a human being at the end of the day. I still got demons that I'm praying for God to work with me on. Well, I tell you what, if you got issues, you need to bow down from the pulpit. You need to step back. That's my thing, Derek Jackson. If you knew you had all of these issues, there was nothing wrong with stepping down and saying, right now, I cannot be there for my audience or my fans because I'm having trouble in my own household. I'm having trouble in my own marriage. People would have respected that more than him sitting up here still knowing his marriage is in trouble, knowing he's having an issue with keeping his penis in his pants or his emotions. He claimed it was more of an emotional affair. Whatever the case was, whatever it was, you should have stepped down. People would have respected it more. I guarantee you, sometimes when you put your own demons out there, people will respect you more. If he would have did content way before this exposure came out and said, I am struggling with some issues in my marriage, I cannot preach something to y'all, and I'm struggling in my life, I'm going to have to bow down gracefully. I'll get back to y'all when things get better. People would have respected that. But the fact that you were still up here promoting this narrative that black women need to be respected, but you're not respecting your own black woman. Now that you've been caught and exposed, you have all these reasons and explanations. Now you want to talk about the Lord. You should have talked about all of that way before it got to this point, son. You don't wait for the devil to put your demons on stage for the whole world to see, and now you want to explain your damn self. Because it's looking like you being phony, being fraudulent. You are not the first man to have problems in your have marital issues in your household, Mr. Jackson. You're not the first man to get caught cheating, Mr. Jackson. However, you being the man that claims to have all this level of intelligence and knowledge, you should have put this out here before it even got that far. Why let these appetizers, why let these low common denominator broads who got nothing to lose get the upper hand and exposing you first before you get to expose yourself? That's where he messed up at. Somebody else was able to put his problem out there before he got a chance to do it. And guess what? Everybody's riding Derek Jackson coattail, but it's more YouTubers to come. More YouTube dating coaches and pastors. Everybody is going to have their day for exposure. That's why I don't worship any of them. I don't care how well dressed they are. I don't care how much they finesse their content, what style they use, what swag they use. Everybody up in this piece got issues, got struggles, got addictions, got bad habits, including myself. We all going through something behind these dating coaches and walls. And it's gotten to the point, what has happened with a lot of content creators, they have become so obsessed with social media instead of focusing more on their real lives. You have these dating coaches, they have become more obsessed with being in touch with their subscribers and their fans, and they don't care if their household is suffering behind it. I know a lot of YouTube dating coaches or YouTube content creators. There is no way you can be a married man, you can have children, be a married woman, have children, and you are on YouTube live streaming 4 or 5 hours almost every day. You cannot tell me your family is really getting attention. Your wife, your husband, they're not getting no attention from you. And it has become so bad that content creators have become obsessed with still getting love from their audience. And they are so afraid that if they go one night not live streaming, they're not going to get any super chats. They're not going to get any recognition. They're not going to get any attention. And honestly, it's both black men and black women that are content creators that are doing it. They spend more time on YouTube than they do with their own wife and their own children. And honestly, I had to pull myself back because sometimes as a content creator, when you get these ideas in your mind, you want to hurry up and put them out there. You want to hurry up and start uploading. You have to, it becomes like an adrenaline rush. YouTube has become an addiction to a lot of content creators to the point to where you will abrupt your family life just to do a live stream. You will abrupt spending time with your wife and your husband to do a live stream. I personally have found myself so eager to do an upload on a topic or something, idea, something popped into my head, and I'm like, I got to speak on this. I got to do content on this. And that was the day me and my husband made plans to do lunch. I made plans to have dinner. And instead of me calling him and saying, okay, I'm going to cancel my lunch plans today because I'm going to do upload and maybe we got lunch tomorrow, I will start doing my uploads. And as you've been on here for a long, extensive amount of time, you don't realize how much time has gone by because you can spend a lot of hours on YouTube and not even realize how long you've been on here. That's how bad it can get if you don't have a balance. And I remember I would, get on my live streams or start recording, doing my uploads or whatever. And here it is, my husband is calling me and I have to pause my content to respond to his phone call. And he's like, okay, are we still going to lunch? Are we still going to go out? I would find myself getting irritated with him because I'm so focused on doing my content. I'm so focused on doing my live stream that I'm lashing out on him because I have become so consumed with YouTube, social media to the point I'm neglecting my real social life just because I feel like as a content creator, I have to constantly be on the scene. And a lot of content creators are doing this. That's why they're snapping and blowing up and going off on their families and stuff like that while they live streaming because we have overly indulged in our YouTube families. We don't fuck with our real families. And that is when I had to step back and do a chill. I had to reflect and say, you know what? I'm not going to do YouTube for a couple of days. Just so I can make sure I don't forget about my own goddamn family. That's the problem with a lot of you YouTubers. That's why you lashing out. That's why you're overwhelmed, you stressed, because you're taking care of the wrong family. You need to take care of your real family. Damn the super chats, damn the subscribers, they gonna be there. If they really love you, rock with you, and respect you, they gonna be there. It should never get to a point to where you are going ham and going off on your real family because they're interrupting your live streams. I know, because I did it. My daughter will call me. Oh my gosh, I was doing a live stream, y'all. When I say that thing was fire, it was fire. And I had a lot of people. This was one of those YouTube live streams. I had a lot of people coming in my chat. I never had that many people come in my chat. I had almost like 50, 60 people. And she called me and told me that she was broke down on the side of the road or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Just when my show is getting good, I'm having all of these super chats. My daughter interrupts me. I had to stop what I was doing, and it made me feel some type of way. This is what happens as a content creator. You become so obsessed with your YouTube family. You say the hell with your real family. And that's when you have to realize it's really important. And you know the sad part is, that's why you got some of these content creators, they got 5, 6, 7 goddamn channels. Because they cannot live without YouTube. They cannot live without it. If YouTube shut down today, we're going to have some lost souls out here. They not going to want to go to Twitter. They not going to want to go to any of these other spaces because YouTube has given them their mark. These same grown men, these same grown women who act like their lives are in order, they don't need YouTube, or they got other things going for them. I guarantee you, you shut down YouTube, half of them will be sick. And you know who will be sick? Is these ones who upload 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, doing 3, 4, 5-hour live streams. Those jokers, they will lose their mind. They will commit suicide in the event YouTube ever was to shut down. Because they have made YouTube their lives. That's what happened with Derrick Jackson. You so busy and trying to empower all these other women when the woman you should have been empowering was your own wife. But YouTube will do that. I'm telling you as a content creator because I have done it. I'm telling you something I've done. Not just something that I've seen other people do. Don't become so obsessed with these YouTube streets to where you are pretending to be something you're not. You having an attitude with your family because they need to talk to you about something. They need to have a conversation with you. Damn your fans. Damn content creators. You have a lot of black men and these black YouTube pastors, black female YouTube pastors. They have no other life. What has happened is the only reason they have been able to accommodate their audience, they have turned loose of their real families. They have turned loose of their real friends. YouTube, that's the only place a lot of them could get friends. Believe it or not, these same content creators behind closed doors, people don't like them in person. That is why they are constantly on YouTube. They cannot get real friends in real life. Their own family don't mess with them because they treat their family nasty. They disrespect their family. These same YouTube pastors that y'all worship, who y'all send y'all tithes and y'all donations to, these jokers are nasty behind closed doors. Nobody likes them. That's why they got to be on YouTube. And the only reason y'all like them is because y'all never had to deal with them personally. I guarantee you, half of these YouTube content creators that y'all so crazy about, if you really knew them for who they were, you would not be a member of their congregation. You would not be tithing. You would not be doing any of that once you really know how nasty they are. Because a lot of these jokers are nasty. Don't care how much sarcasm, how well dressed they are. A lot of them are just as nasty as they come. They're not likable. They don't carry a good spirit about themselves. You can't always pinpoint that spirit through a platform. Unless you are spiritually woke, I could read a devil, regardless of if he's behind the screen or not, because I'm spiritually woke like that. But a lot of y'all are not spiritually woke. Y'all lack the spirit of discernment, which is how these dudes and these females are able to get your money. are able to get your support. But I say all that to say this. I don't know why people are acting surprised. That's why you don't need to be putting nobody on the pedestal. Y'all are acting shocked and surprised. You don't know why these dating coaches keep getting exposed. Because the truth is, all of us are human beings. All of us got battles. These YouTubers that's preaching about staying away from black women, they're the main ones messing with them. Or they tell you, you need to keep your wife in control. They ain't got no control over their wife. Tell you, you need to be a father to your child. They're not a father to their own children. They tell you, you need to stay away from these dusties. Meanwhile, they messing with dusties. So until you learn to have your own mind and not place these YouTube dating coaches, dating pastors, or whatever on the pedestal, y'all are going to keep getting disappointed. I tell people, always give people room to disappoint you. Always. Never sit up here, well, I know this person will never do that. I know this person, he is keeping it real. He is 100% truthful. She knows everything what you're talking about. All of us have failed in something. None of us got all the answers. None of us got it all together. Okay? So y'all need to stop worshiping and praising these YouTube dating coaches. And it's going to be more that's going to get exposed. I heard about the Donovan Sharp thing. I don't know, but I'm hearing he always preaching about don't deal with single mothers, but he has a white woman whose child he adopted. I don't know. I don't watch any of these people. That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful. And arrogance is what's causing exposure. I'm going to tell y'all that's the biggest thing, arrogance. Acting like ain't nobody got nothing on you. I can get up on these YouTube streets and I can disrespect who the hell I want to disrespect. I can downgrade who I want to downgrade because nobody can talk about me. My shit don't stink. Don't care who you are. You can get knocked down your high horse at any given moment. The bigger you become, the more people start looking for you. Like they say, it's a saying, everybody wants the spotlight. But guess what? Eventually, people will see all the spots in your light. So anyway, y'all, I'm getting ready to shut it down. Please make sure y'all hit that like button right now before you leave. It's only free. You don't have to pay any money. Hit that like button. I don't have a members only. So you don't have to pay tithes unless you want to. Please give me your opinion below about these YouTube dating coaches. Like I said, everybody wants to give this man a hard time, but this should make y'all question everybody, not just Derek Jackson. I'm looking at everybody with the goddamn side eye. I'm waiting to see who's next, who else gonna get caught and not being who they are. It's more to come. So while y'all so busy focusing on him and focusing on his skeletons that done came out the closet, let me tell you something. You got some people that got more skeletons than a goddamn graveyard. And they steady sitting up here preaching and teaching and running their mouth, thinking they invincible because they successful, thinking they able to hide their bones and hide their skeletons in the closet. It's going to be many more that's going to get exposed. So just get ready. 2021 is the year of exposure, y'all. There's more and more to come. So just sit back and watch. It's going to get more interesting. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comments below. What y'all think. I'll holler at y'all soon. Take care. Bye.